There's been a massive development in the Glastonbury Festival fallout, and this time it's not just online outrage, it's gone criminal. Both Bob Vylan and Kneecap are now at the centre of a full-scale police investigation after their controversial performances sparked national and international fury. What began as an angry ripple across social media has now escalated into a case that could have serious legal consequences for the performers involved. And as of today, we now know that police have officially launched a criminal probe, with hate crime legislation on the table, US visas revoked, and even the BBC distancing itself from what it aired live. So what exactly happened on that stage at Glastonbury, and why is the fallout getting bigger by the hour? Let's break it down. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. We have released our new 0% Liberal t-shirts. You can find them at britishstand.com or go to the link in the description. Let's get back into today's video. Avon and Somerset Police have now confirmed they're actively investigating the performances given by both Bob Vylan and Kneecap on Saturday during the Glastonbury Festival. According to an official police statement, footage and audio from both acts have been reviewed in detail, and following that review, authorities have concluded that further inquiries are required. A criminal investigation is now underway, and a senior detective has been assigned to lead the case. At this stage, the incidents are being treated as public order matters, but crucially, police have stated they are exploring all relevant laws, including those relating to hate crimes. The wording of their statement was clear. There is absolutely no place in society for hate. And that gives us an early indication of just how serious this is. Police have also said they've received a large amount of contact from people around the world, and they acknowledge the strength of public feeling about what happened on stage. And let's be clear, they're not exaggerating. Footage of Bob Vylan's performance in particular has gone viral, with countless viewers highlighting a moment where the rapper led the crowd in chanting "Death to the IDF." While some have defended the chanter's political speech, others, including MPs, have described it as direct incitement and possibly even terror glorification. In fact, Shadow Home Secretary Chris Philp has publicly called for Bob Vylan to be arrested and charged, warning that if action isn't taken, it could prove Britain is now operating under a two-tier justice system, one rule for activists and another for everyone else. The controversy has already had real-world consequences. Bob Vylan's US tour has been cancelled after the group's visas were revoked. The reason? According to The Independent, American authorities described their Glastonbury performance as containing hateful content. That decision alone speaks volumes about how seriously this is being taken overseas. Even the BBC, who broadcasted the set live, is now backpedaling, with the broadcaster admitting that the segment should have been pulled. That's a major climb down from a platform that's come under increasing scrutiny for what many have called politically biased editorial decisions. And now, under pressure, they're scrambling to explain why that segment aired in the first place. But so far, despite the criminal probe, the media backlash, and the public outrage, neither the police nor the BBC have disclosed exactly which parts of the performances triggered these reactions. It's possible that police are holding back information while the investigation unfolds. What we do know is that neighborhood policing teams have now been sent out to engage with communities and key stakeholders to offer support and reassurance. They've also asked the public to stop reporting the incident, not because it's unimportant, but because the investigation is now officially live and evidence is being gathered. So here's where we are. Two major acts now under criminal investigation. One set already labelled hateful by international authorities, and a festival performance that could end up setting legal precedent for what is and isn't acceptable in the realm of public performance and protest. This isn't over, and as the investigation continues, pressure is mounting on the police, the government, and the BBC to ensure there's no cover-up, no double standard, and no silence. Because if this is about hate, incitement, or worse, the public deserves the truth. In other news, political commentator Kitty Donaldson has warned that Labour rebels are awaiting two key statements before Tuesday's crucial welfare vote, with around 50 MPs still prepared to oppose the legislation despite government concessions. The rebellion originally involved up to 120 Labour MPs who opposed the welfare bill's proposals to tighten eligibility criteria for personal independence payment and reduce the health-related component of universal credit. Speaking to the media, political commentator at the newspaper, Kitty Donaldson said, "I think Starmer will still get it through because the Tories have said in principle they'll support it tomorrow." You're right, 50 seems to be about the number everyone's quoting. I've been on the phone to rebels this morning. They're all waiting for two things. One is a written ministerial statement coming shortly from Stephen Timms, the DWP minister, setting out details of a review into future welfare changes. The second is an oral statement from Liz Kendall, the Secretary of State for Work and Pensions, who'll talk them through the changes and concessions made last week. That concession, which came around midnight on Friday morning, bought off around 60 of the 120 MPs who were previously set to vote against the bill. Some rebels are still saying they're really unhappy. One said to me, "We're all only a day away from becoming disabled ourselves, so there's concern about future-proofing this legislation. They're also worried about how quickly it's being rushed through with the second reading tomorrow and the committee stage next week. More amendments are likely. So yes, around 50 are still unhappy. It's a substantial rebellion, but not enough to stop the government. Despite the concessions, a government impact assessment has revealed that 150,000 additional working-age adults will still be pushed into relative poverty as a result of the welfare reforms. This represents a reduction from the original assessment, which estimated that 250,000 people, including 50,000 children, would face poverty under the initial proposals before Sir Keir Starmer was forced to water down the measures. The Prime Minister is mounting a last-minute effort to win over the remaining Labour rebels ahead of Tuesday's vote. However, pressure continues to mount as dozens of his own MPs remain unconvinced by the government's attempts to soften the impact of the cuts. Work and Pensions Secretary Liz Kendall defended the reforms, stating, "We must build a welfare system that provides security for those who cannot work and the right support for those who can. Too often, disabled people feel trapped and worried that if they try to work, they could lose the support they depend on." She added, "That is why we are taking action to remove those barriers, support disabled people to live with dignity and independence, and open routes into employment for those who want to pursue it." As Tuesday's critical welfare vote approaches, the Labour leadership faces a lingering revolt from around 50 MPs who remain unconvinced by recent government concessions. While the scale of the rebellion has halved since last week, concerns persist over the long-term implications of the proposed changes and the speed at which they are being pushed through Parliament. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.